Are you bad enough for heaven? Are you good enough for hell? Today's song by the rock and roll worship circus called the Undiscovered talks about heaven. So let's get into it. So on this channel, I've done several Tool songs. Need to do some more Tool songs. And one of the things I love about Tool, I think Tool is probably the most original band in rock history, or at least in the modern history. I mean, they just do some things that no one else does. But this, and I'm not trying to compare this band to Tool in that capacity, but I've heard this song before, and but I've never listened to it with headphones on before. And I'm telling you, they layer and they do nuance that reminds me in the same vein of Tool, which is very original. So that last verse there, so be afraid, for he is coming in more glory than we have seen. So oceans roar and all you creatures tell the nations the Lord is king. I'm telling you what, this band, which is obviously was pushing the envelope for Christian music, they have some of the most theologically sound lyrics that I've heard, and probably better than what are being played in most churches right now with a lot of that silliness that's played. But I'm telling you, those are some super solid lyrics. What a great song. If you're a person on a worship team at a church, I inspire you, encourage you, even dare you to do this song because this is fantastic. It may not like people give them like a warm fuzzy because it doesn't tell them how great they are and how awesome they are and how God chases them down and smooches their face like a dog giving a kiss, but it's super powerful and it's super theological. Anyway, so the question, do good people go to hell? Do bad people go to heaven? That's a question I kind of want to pick up from the beginning of this. And the answer is yes. And I guess it all depends on how we define our terms. So there are going to be people in heaven who have done what we might think is reprehensible behavior, reprehensible things. There are going to be people who go to hell who think they deserve heaven. And here, let's keep it really simple and quick today. So because of original sin, we all are infected with the disease of sin. And we don't have to sell our soul to the devil. Basically, we basically kind of default into his camp anyways. So the idea here is that we can't do enough good to earn our way to heaven. There's not enough good we can do. And it's not like, if you do so much good, you get this stuff, and then the bad stuff kind of weighs it out, and where's the scale? That's not how justice works according to the kingdom of heaven. And here's the gist of it is that God gets to call the shots. He gets to set the rules because he's the one that created everything. So we have to go by what his book says, right? And so the book basically tells us that we cannot earn our way into heaven and that we must depend on the grace of God and the completed work of Jesus. And that basically means that we submit our lives to him. We deny ourselves, we pick up our cross daily, we follow him. When we screw up, mess up, miss the mark, transgress, commit sin, we simply confess our sins, and he's faithful and just to forgive us our sins and cleanse us of all unrighteousness. Does that mean we have free reign to sin? That's a deep theological question, and the answer probably is no. However, we don't get to make the call. God does. So if you're gonna say, well, they're just gonna sin all the time and just ask for forgiveness, and how's that work? It's one of those things where God judges the hearts of people. All I'm saying is we can't earn our way into heaven by good works. It's impossible. So if that's you, I would say you probably should stop and find out what the book says and align yourselves with the book. Now, do we do good works? Yes, we do. We're created for good works, but it's an overflow, an action of overflow of our gratitude towards God. So we're like giving sacrificially, we're helping people, we're serving at places and things of that nature because we're just so enamored with what God's done for us. We can't help but to pass that love onto somebody else. That's not what saves us, though. What saves us is what Jesus did at Calvary. It's the death. It's the crucifixion, death, and resurrection of Christ is where our hope is. So there you go. And this song is about heaven, right? The Undiscovered is about heaven. It's about the throne room and the veil of the undiscovered of God. And that's pretty awesome thinking about heaven, right? So, all right, the Rock and Roll Worship Circus, the Undiscovered. And this is a great, great band. I wish they would have did more music. Too bad. They really, I think, really set themselves apart early on and unfortunately stopped making music. I don't know why, but happens, musicians happen. So blessings to you, blessings to your family. I will see you soon with a new video. Until then, may God's grace and peace come upon you, overwhelm you, and overtake you.